What's up, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Wizards Latest. I'm your host and DC sports fan, Ben Robertson, and on this page, we break down all the biggest headlines surrounding the Washington Wizards. So make sure you like and subscribe down below. Drop your comments with any thoughts you might have on the video or anything you want to hear me talk about in the future. As always, guys, I appreciate all of the support. We've recently hit 500 subscribers here on the page, so thank you for tuning in every single day. I want to talk about Richaun Holmes today. Looks like he has found a new home for himself. Then I want to chat about another veteran, of course, that's leaving the team in free agency here this offseason that I'm still a little bit surprised hasn't found a new landing spot in the league. Then I want to chat about young Wizards I think are untouchable in trade scenarios, at least for right now. And lastly, give you a couple players that I think might challenge those untouchables with their performance here this year. So once again, guys, thank you for tuning into the page every single day, like I said before. And let's talk about Richaun Holmes. Uh, Heading to Panathinaikos in Greece. Apologies if I've butchered that pronunciation. Of course, one of the European powers. And that's where Holmes, the 31-year-old, is heading. 7 points, 5 rebounds for the Wizards last year in 31 games played. The second round pick in 2015 really had to battle and carve out a role for himself in the league. Had his best year in the 2020-2021 campaign when he averaged 14 points, 8 rebounds per game for Sacramento. Um, Bought out here earlier this offseason, as we know, to avoid guarantees on his contract, and then really had plenty of interest from some of the top European clubs before he made his decision. Looks like he'll become one of the highest paid players in Europe. So, wishing all of the best to him. Now, I will say, same club that Thomas Bryant was linked to here earlier this offseason. It was reported that Bryant was nearing or close to a deal with the team. So I'm not sure if this home signing will have any effect on that. We'll see how that goes because Bryant still, it doesn't look like has officially signed with the team, still maybe trying to test the waters in the NBA. We'll keep you posted, of course, there on that situation with the couple of former Wizards big men now potentially with prospects overseas. But it really got me thinking about another veteran from the team, of course, leaving here this offseason in free agency. Remember, Malcolm Brogdon brought over in that Denny Avdia trade with Portland. Of course, the same deal that brought Bub Carrington's draft rights here to DC. He's really just struggled to stay on the court lately. Only 25 games played for Brogdon last year. Not expected that he's going to be back with the team next year. Really wasn't expected going into this offseason. The team even maybe looked to shop him last year around the deadline, but just couldn't find any suitors with sort of his injury struggles. Uh, Teams like the Clippers, the Warriors have been rumored to have interest in Brogdon. Washington has reportedly been willing to facilitate a sign and trade deal for him to help him find a new home and maybe his preferred destination, but nothing has come into play yet. And you wonder if maybe if this is just a matter of teams looking at again the injury history and the age of Malcolm Brogdon and maybe being a little hesitant there. I will say I would be really surprised to not see him land on a roster as the season gets closer and closer. But my next thing I want to chat about today, and really what's probably going to take up the bulk of our time, is a conversation that I've sort of seen again requested down in that comment section. So keep dropping your thoughts for me and what you want to hear me talk about in the future. But it's which Wizards are untouchable in a trade scenario. And really, let's be honest, there's only a few guys in the league that truly define the meaning or the word untouchable. I mean, look, if Shea Gilders-Alexander, Anthony Edwards is offered tomorrow, it's going to be hard to pass up on, those players. However, like those aren't exactly realistic deals or realistic offers. And for things that are maybe for our purposes, I should say, we're going to use maybe more realistic things that I'm more including. Hey, let's just, these players cannot be used in a deal. For instance, if you're interested in Jonathan Kuminga, or maybe working out a sign and trade deal for Malcolm Brogdon, for those purposes, these players cannot be touched on this current Wizards roster. And the first one I'm going to give you, probably no shock, the number 2 pick from last year, Alex Sarr. Obviously, there's definitely a ton that Alex Sarr can still improve on and work on in his game, and at times can even be a little bit frustrating to watch, to be quite honest. As to continue to add size and muscle, I think that's going to really help him out at both ends of the court. Got to be a better, just has to improve his finishing around the rim. I think maybe his overall shot selection as well. And then I really think I would like to see him become a better defensive rebounder as well. There's too many times that you go, man, you just have to come up with that board. However, the upside is just incredible for Sar. He's 7 feet tall. He runs the court. He can handle the basketball, and he's got a little bit of touch from outside. There was a time in the NBA that was referred to as a unicorn. Obviously, with the incredible talent we've seen, of course, players like Victor Wembanyama, a fellow Frenchman, influx into the NBA. Maybe that type of verb or type of vernacular isn't used in terms of Sar to describe him, but I will say when you watch him play, you see some of the flashes of just how incredible his game can be. The shot blocking ability already really, really special. The timing and elevation in that regard is just incredible sometimes. I mentioned this in Summer League, or while the Summer League action was going on, but there he has the ability to get the shot block and then grab the rebound himself before it goes out of play, which is just a really, really impressive thing to do. The question really for Sar is going to be, can he put this all together? Can he put all those tools and talent together to become a special player? But excited to watch his development. My next untouchable, at least for right now, is of course the number 6 overall pick of this year's draft class in Trey Johnson. We saw him just put on a show in his couple of summer league performances. And look, I just love the pure scoring guards. I'm not saying they're always the best player to build around. We've seen that over the course of NBA history, or to be your only option or number 1 option. But a guy that can just fill it up like Trey can at the guard position is just so fun to watch, man. And I'm so glad we have him on the roster. And he showed the ability to score not just from beyond the arc, but really at all 3 levels. Whether, again, his shot is incredible. The 3-point shooting, whether it's off the dribble, whether it's on spot up attempts, but he's also shown the ability to handle the basketball and get into the lane and again just score at different areas of the court. I truly believe Trey has the opportunity or the chance to one day become an all-star or all NBA level talent. Again, that shooting ability is just unbelievable, and the fact that he can already get it done in multiple areas and multiple levels on the court is just really, really exciting, and I can't wait to see more of him. Last untouchable I'm going to give you, and I think for me at least, I'm expecting the more surprising thing to be from you guys, at least, is to be the number of untouchables I'm giving you. Only 3 for me, and the third one will be Bilal Coulibaly, at least for right now. And honestly, I struggled with Bilal because I'm not sure if he truly is in this category as much as I like his game. And that's not to say I don't love me some Bilal Coulibaly, because I do. Are excited to see him play more with Team France here this offseason. He's already looked really good in Eurobasket prep. His defense makes him an absolute weapon. Just that length and activity, it just makes him so good on that end of the court. We've seen him disrupt and affect some of the best scorers in the NBA already in his career. Obviously, the big question for Bilal is, will the offensive consistency follow? Can he get consistent with that shot from beyond the arc? Really, for a few guys on the team, for me at least, that is a big question here. This next season, Bub Carrington, another one you could put in that category. I think, and the reason I question, is he truly part of this untouchable category? I do think he is part of the future core here. I think the front office feels that way as well. I think if all works out according to plan, Bilal Coulibaly is a long time Wizard. But I will say the additions of a Cam Whitmore here this offseason, the development of a Keyshawn George kind of at the end of last year, and really what we saw even from him in Summer League does make this, if it wasn't already, an even more critical year three for Bilal Coulibaly. Those two guys are going to be nipping at his heels. And I think really either of them could play their way into this category of sort of key pieces for the future that you look at and go, yeah, that's an untouchable a young player. I also want to if all goes according to plan or stays, on target, Washington, of course, next year is going to have a ton of cap flexibility. And also maybe, there's thoughts of might want to take a big trade swing, kind of like Houston did with Kevin Durant here this offseason. And you have to imagine at least one of those young wings would be part of that, deal. And so which one plays their way into that conversation of you are part of the future core and not somebody that we are looking to move? Bilal Coulibaly, Cam Whitmore, Keyshawn George. I think that's really going to be an interesting battle here this year. Maybe even throw Will Riley into that mix. We will keep you posted on everything Wizards related right here on the page. So make sure you like and subscribe down below. Drop your comments and any thoughts you might have on the video or anything you want to hear me talk about in the future. As always, guys, I appreciate all of the support, and thanks for watching another episode of Wizards Latest.